All right, guys, what's happening? Welcome back to your weekly episode of the People's Desk right here at We the People, where the people come for the truth. Thank you guys for tuning in to another weekly episode. So this is what I got for you this week. We're gonna show you a little video here on some and shout out to the Wolves of Finance. I used a little bit of clippings from his, and then I took some communist video from YouTube, not YouTube's videos, but it was a communist channel to teach you about communism with a cherry on top. So I used a little bit of it to make you a video here because I want you to see how they try to dress it up. And I want you to see the relevance of what it can be in our country. So I thank you guys for stopping by. I'm not going to hold you hostage here talking your head off. If you don't mind, can you please hit that subscribe, like, and share down at the bottom there? It helps us sustain the algorithm. Let's get into it.
There's a lot of excitement surrounding the term, though usually as an insult rather than an accurate political descriptor. You've probably heard people like Joe Biden called one, definitely Bernie Sanders, and maybe even Donald Trump, somehow. But what is communism beyond this ill-defined boogeyman that you were taught to hate? Isn't it just when no iPhone, Vuvuzuela, 300 Gorillion like you've read in the YouTube comments? Well, let's find out. Welcome to Socialism 101, a series designed to help educate people with no prior knowledge on the basics of socialism and communism from an explicitly Marxist-Leninist perspective. Now, there's a lot of misinformation being spread about communism by those on both the political right and the political left. So this series seeks to demystify and clarify what it is exactly that we Marxist-Leninists and Marxist-Leninist Maoists believe in short, easily digestible videos. After this 101 series is finished, there's going to be an intermediate Socialism 201 and then an advanced Socialism 301. Now, if this sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell below. On that note, how are you doing? My name's Paul and I am an Irish communist. But what exactly do I mean when I call myself a communist? Frederick Engels, the magnificently bearded co-author of the Communist Manifesto, wrote that communism is the doctrine of the prerequisites for the emancipation for the proletariat. A theoretical toolbox that clearly maps out how to achieve complete liberation for all working people. And this isn't just by securing free healthcare or increasing the minimum wage. In 1845, Karl Marx wrote that we call communism the real movement which abolishes the present state of things. The aim is a fundamental transformation of society, which once and for all ends the exploitation of man by man. And we call the people involved in this project communists. But what's our end goal? To take away everyone's toothbrushes? No, you keep your personal property, please. The goal of communism as a movement, simply put, is to create a stateless, classless, moneyless society. That is to say, a communist society. Now, how we get there is a matter of debate among the various different sections of the political left. Some, such as anarchists, believe we can have a revolution and establish this kind of society immediately thereafter. Others, including Marxists like myself, believe that we'll need a transitional stage between capitalism and communism, a stage called socialism. But hang on a minute, what about communist states? Don't these communist states like the USSR and China contradict everything that's been said so far? Well, communist state is a term pretty much used exclusively by those in the Western world. These countries never called themselves communist states. They called themselves socialists. It's in the name, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. The term communist state is also an oxymoron, given that communism is, as we mentioned earlier, a stateless, classless, moneyless society. So, yeah, nice job, Western academic big brains. Now, rather than just seeing communism as a kind of society that we might implement in this country or in that country, it's more useful to understand it as a stage of historical development. We Marxists divide history into a number of stages corresponding to different modes of production. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about what exactly we mean by modes of production in the next video. But for now, let's briefly look at the different stages of historical development that we can identify. The first main stage that we can identify is called primitive communism. Think hunter-gatherer societies. The second stage of historical developments that we identify is slave society, such as those seen in ancient Greece and in ancient Rome. Following this, we see the development of feudalism, such as in Europe after the fall of the Roman Empire. After feudalism, we arrive at capitalism, such as in the modern United States of America. Beyond capitalism, we arrive at socialism, such as what we saw in the USSR and in China. Finally, after a full epoch of socialism, we will arrive at communism. But what does communism actually look like? What will life be like for the average person in the age of communism? In communist society, where nobody has one exclusive sphere of activity, to his needs. Sound utopian? Too good to be true? Well, utopianism is assuming that the planet can sustain capitalism, a system which requires infinite growth on a planet of finite resources. Communists are simply realists.
At what he says he wants to do as mayor. He wants to start opening government grocery stores.
City-run grocery stores, I've proposed a pilot program of one store in each borough. These are 5 stores in total. The total cost of this is $60 million. This is less than half the cost of what the city is already set to spend on a subsidy program for corporate supermarkets that has no guarantee of cheaper prices or collective bargaining agreements or even accepting
So
SNAP
you're not
or WIC.
looking at some like Soviet Union grocery stores on every corner that are going to be run by the government.
No, what I'm looking at is how to solve the very clear twin crises of affordability when you go to the grocery store and food deserts, which disproportionately impact Black and brown New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs.
This is communism, and it's a horrible idea. Do you remember the last time you went to the Department of Motor Vehicles? Did you enjoy the experience? Did you have to wait in line for a long time? Now imagine that you had to get your groceries from the same people who operate the Department of Motor Vehicles. It's going to be a disaster. In fact, we have had other cities who have already tried this and failed miserably.
It's clear this Sunfresh at 31st and Prospect is struggling. This is the first section people see when they come in. There's barely any produce. A lot of the coolers and shelves around the store look the same way, empty. So shoppers have been asking us, if the store isn't closing, then where's all the food?
A rotten smell comes through the door, and anywhere you turn, you'll see products that need to be restocked. No hot food or deli.
I watch people walk in and walk out.
The grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep those shelves stocked in an area that in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
Around here, a good thing don't last too long.
But what does communism actually look like? What will life be like for the average person in the age of communism? In communist society, where nobody has one exclusive sphere of activity, but each can become accomplished in any branch he wishes, society regulates the general production, and thus makes it possible for me to do one thing today and another tomorrow. To hunt in the morning, fish in the afternoon, rear cattle in the evening, criticise after dinner. Just as I have a mind without ever becoming hunter, fisherman, herdsman, or critic.
Communism might sound great, right? No one man greater than the other, every man to the ground together and all that, like, look, hey, I get it. Nobody ever wants to feel like they're lower than someone else. We always want to feel like we're on the same playing field, right? But it's not naturally like that, right? Some are softer, some are timider. It's okay though. We all play a part in this world. And once we realize that, things would be a little different. We won't have to go through life worrying about that and trying to push men off as women and tell us, no, it's okay because now they transition, they got breasts. They still got their wee wee, but they got breasts. So they can go into girls' bathroom. Bro, I can only imagine all the crazy people out there like stuffing a bra right now talking about, bro, I'm going to the to Birdor's tonight. What the? Oh, no. Who's getting Birdor's tonight? That's insane to me, bro. First and foremost, we condemn all sex violence here. All of it. We all have mothers, wives, daughters, and sisters. And we don't know each other's background, past, or know what any of our family members been through. So watch what you say when you say it to the next man. I just want to remind you of that. Right? There are certain things that we don't play with. And that's one of the things we don't play with. The one that I despise women beaters. Men that beat on women, you have no idea how much I despise you. I loathe you. You're truly weak creatures. You're not men. You are not men. Mm. So, and just understanding something, seizing the means of production means they can seize your women. Don't. You know, they can enslave them and put them to work, bro. You know what I'm saying? Women are hard workers. Plus, they have children. They're childbearing. Protect your family. I challenge all you men to do what you do every day and take care of your family. God bless each and every one of you men. And I stand 10 toes down with you men that go head on into the challenge and don't allow these times to make weak men. Allow weak men the opportunity to move out the way. And let the real men in. And let the real men do what they do because they all know we all play a part in this wheel. You might be a cog, you might be a ball bearing, you might be a rubber band, but you play a part to make this wheel go round. You're just as important as any spring, just as important as any cog, any whatever. You are just as important as the next. And that's the difference in the mentality of the men. You dudes that think that you're women, you don't even know what part you play. You probably don't even play a part in this world. You just have to get in the way. All I can say is this. It's time for us to make a decision. And the decision is our future, or do we throw it all away? And before you make a decision, I want you to stop and I want you to think about your grandparents. Your mother, your father, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and your great-great-grandparents. I want you to think all the way back to the ones that came on the boat to this country. As far back as you could think. And think if they were alive today and we handed them the country back and said, thank you, but no thank you. Would they be disgusted at you? Would they be disappointed in you? Would they downright disown you for what you let this world become, for playing your part and allowing this world to become, this country to become what it is today? Would those people be proud of you? There's some that would, but there's a lot of you. I believe that your family would disown you. And I don't care if that hurts your feelings or not. It's meant to. Because I know that's the realm you operate in. Not intelligence. You soft ass men operate in feelings. So let's get down on your level and let's get into the gut feeling of it all. You weak ass boys. Get yourself a woman. And that woman will show you how to be a man. If you don't already know yourself. And then you'll make the decision from there. Do you want to be a man? Or do you want to be a fucking furry rabbit? Y'all have a great one. I love you. And I'll see you back at the people's desk next week.